Namaste. I'm Virendra Sharma, Labour Party parliamentary candidate for coming 12th of December, Thursday, general election. I was member of parliament 4 times before. I urge everybody to come out and vote Labour on Thursday, the 12th of December, and vote for me so that I can continue serving the communities, uniting the communities and the humanity, and making sure that we have a peaceful and prosperous Britain. Vote for Labour. Namaste.
नमस्कार दर्शकवृन्द, हामी बेलायतमा हुन लागेको राष्ट्रिय निर्वाचन डिसेम्बर 12, 2019 का दिन हुने निर्वाचनमा इलिङ साउथलबाट चौथो पटक सभासद हुनुभएका वीरेन्द्र शर्माज्यूसँग पत्रकार भागीरथ योगीजीले आज केही संवाद गर्दै हुनुहुन्छ। प्रत्यक्ष प्रसारणमा हामी छौँ, हेर्दै गर्नुहोला लन्डन नेपाल न्युज।
धन्यवाद शिवजी। We have got with us this morning is a very well known parliamentarian from Britain, a long time friend of Nepal, a Labour leader, Mr. Virendra Sharma. Welcome to London Nepal News live interview, Mr. Sharma. Thank you very much for your time. So we have got parliamentary elections in Britain just 5 days away on 12th of December. So how is your campaigning going on?
I think it's going well, and thank you very much for taking this on air this morning, and I'm sure after this more and more people will be aware of the election and will come and support, and I'm quite confident with the support of all the communities in my constituency, I will do well.
So you have already represented Ealing Southall constituency for a record 4 times. This is the 5th time that you are contesting. So what is your agenda? Why should people vote for you?
It's not that why people should vote for me. Why the people should vote for a party who have a future vision for the country and the people living in the country. I'm from the Labour Party. I believe in the values of the Labour Party. Current election campaign is based on Brexit or remain. Means that whether we should stay in Europe or we should come out of Europe. I am the one member of parliament, and a large number of us believes that remaining in Europe is best for the country, best for the world. That is the main agenda on which people will be deciding. But we as a party also campaigning that Brexit or remain should not be the only criteria when people casting their vote. We believe that people should take that in view of that what will be our future economic, social and diplomatic agenda for the future, which is what kind of the NHS we want to have, what kind of the education system we want to have, what kind of the employment opportunities we want to create, and also what those people who are unable to have their own housing, whether they are homeless, forced to be homeless, how they can be accommodated and how we can provide those homeless people a shelter on their head.
Yeah, we know that Labour is proposing a huge investment in services like hospitals, schools, and also creating employment. But the basic question is, where will the money come from?
I think that this is an issue which everybody concerned about. Certainly, that people feel that it will be huge investment. I believe that first of all, we need to understand and accept that what kind of society we want to live, what kind of the vision we have, and then that framework will decide where the money will come from and how we're going to do it. First thing, I want to make it absolutely clear that the change and implementation of our agenda is not overnight policy. It's not going to be within a day or two. But we are saying that we have a very clear vision for the future. And then it is a long-term agenda, 10 to 20 years. What kind of the national health services, where the hospitals will be built, where the nurses and the staff will come from, how we going to retrain and have further training opportunities for those children born and growing up in this community, in this society, in this country. They can be encouraged to take those jobs. But economy side, first of all, we are going to target those 5% of the top companies who at present are not paying any taxes in this country. They have not paid for many in the past, and we will make sure that immediately we come in power, these big companies, which is everybody is aware of the names, Amazon, Google, and many others. There's about 7 or 8 companies who never paid. Shadow Chancellor has clearly said that tax put on them will take at least 80% of the cost we are talking about today. It will be met by the taxes paid by those big corporations who in the past never paid. 90% of the local workers will not have any extra penny to pay. So it's not the taxes on the middle class, low wages, and those people who are not earning high income. We are not putting pressure that a rich person or the people who earning huge sums of money should be burdened with the tax, but we believe that they have the capacity to pay extra than the people who are on the low wages and very minimum wages.
Yeah, we'll come back to labor policies for this election and also the most pressing issue of Brexit in a while. Now, I would like to discuss about the Nepal-UK relations. You have been the president of the All Nepal Parliamentary Group, all
APPG in House of
All
Commons.
Party Parliamentary Group on Nepal in the British Parliament. So, how do you see the relations between Nepal and the UK at the moment?
I think that we have improved hugely, and I'm not going to say one government or the other. We all have worked together and still working together. Nepal is very close to the hearts of British people for many reasons. I'm not going to say that only Gurkhas are the most important community, but as a Nepal, particularly Gurkhas, has played a major part to bringing the Britain and Nepal relations to close. I am a proud post holder for a long time. As the chair of the APPG on Nepal, I have visited Nepal 5 times in the past. I have raised the issues in the parliament as an International Development Committee member and the CPA member. I have raised issues of investment in Nepal, encouraging tourism for Nepal, and making sure that the relationships between Britain and Nepal carry on as it is present state is, but can be improved for the investment and tourism side.
Yeah, you just said that you want more British tourists visiting Nepal, and Nepal is observing the Visit Nepal year 2020 next year, just in few weeks' time. And especially our ambassador to the UK, Dr. Subedi, he has set and very ambitious target of, say, taking around 100,000 British tourists to Nepal. Do you think will it be possible, and what the Nepali community here at the the Nepal government needs to do to attract more tourists from UK to Nepal?
I'm not saying only confident. I launched that campaign for tourism. So my vested interest is because I launched it, it becomes successful. But if you look at locally and the feedback we have from outside, we are certainly promoting it, and I'm quite confident that 100,000 target will be met, because the affection and the changes in Nepal has also encouraged people to go to Nepal, to see it. Facilities are better than what it was 10 years ago. Hotels, general infrastructure there, information given to the tourists is improved. And I must congratulate the ambassador and the embassy staff for taking extra effort to make sure. Parliamentarian, it's very difficult for me to comment whether who's right, who's wrong. It is internally, and the people of Nepal, people of India will decide together with the diplomatic ways to resolve it. I wish them that a successful resolution on this dispute, and I hope if there's any move to have outside intervention, I certainly will assist in that matter if they want it.
Yeah, now talking about the Nepali community here in the UK, you are quite popular among the Nepali community as well. And you have been encouraging Nepalese living in the UK to join in local politics as well. Why?
Look, if you look at the history first, that when we miss the political side, which is the decision-making processes in Britain, take Britain, but also learn from previous experiences, being an Indian myself, but now living for over 50 years in Britain. When the Indians went to East Africa, Fiji, West Indies Island, they suffered when they failed to participate into the political system of those countries. They invested hugely, they worked hard in those countries, they invested in the businesses, education, health services, but they missed the political side of it. So I wanted that the communities should be part and parcel of the decision-making processes in this country. If you can't, then somebody else will be looking after you, which I don't believe is the right way of doing it. We should be voting, register yourself for vote, then become members of the political parties. I'm not saying one political party or the other. That is the individual choice. But I ask everybody to join the political parties, participate into the running of that political party, make sure that your own issues are also on board, cultural, language-wise, and others, diplomatic issues as well, how we want to see a relationship between Britain and Nepal or international level. So if you don't be the part of that, then it means that you are depending on somebody else. They can take any decision which is later on found out that was not in the interest of the particular community or the interest of that group. So that's why I encourage people to register for vote, make sure that you come out and vote, and make sure that you are part and parcel of the political system of Britain, so that we can have that kind of society where our interests are also protected.
Of course, it will also help in the integration of the Nepali community in the larger British community. So you just also mentioned about the issue of the Garkhas. The Garkha community, the ex-Garkhas have been campaigning for the equal pension and benefits for quite long. And if the Labour Party is elected to the government, what will be you doing to address their demands?
I'm part of that campaign. Here I have raised those issues in the parliament. I was part of that consultation. All the satyagrahas we had, I went and supported those people, but also encouraged participation and negotiations on that. I'm sorry it has taken long time. Being a member of Labour Party, and hopefully I will be re-elected, I will carry on, and I will definitely put pressure and open the negotiations with the Labour government to meet the needs of the Gorkhas and have the equal pension rights as their British counterparts. It is taking long time, and we are all concerned about it, but as a realistic public servant myself, I think these negotiations, economic side of it, financial burdens on the treasury, the general understanding of the issues sometimes take a long time. But I also said that in case we fail to form the government, I will carry on negotiating and facilitating with the next government to make sure that Gorkha's rightful issues are addressed and their pension rights and still immigration rights are properly protected and come to the par with the British counterparts.
Yeah, now coming back to the British politics again, you said that you have campaigned for Remain, but the Labour Party per se, and especially Labour leader Jeremy Corbyn, he refused to answer the question whether he will be campaigning for Remain or to leave the EU. So what is the position of Labour regarding Brexit, which is said to be the defining issue of this election?
I respect my leader. He is elected democratically, Jeremy Corbyn, but I differ with him on this particular issue. I wanted him to say openly that we are Remain, because this is the conference policy issue, which is the Labour Party conference has fully endorsed Remain. Failing that, because when the manifesto came, individuals' point of view expressed in that, he made this clear that he will remain neutral as the Prime Minister of the country. However, he will have the second referendum, what will definitely provide the opportunity to the public to have the option of Remain. That's a clear message. But he is also saying that it will be a free vote. People like myself who will be actively campaigning for Remain after the when the second referendum is put forward. He will negotiate the deal, bring the deal to the people of the country, and then leave it to the people to decide. One thing is clear here, that once the second referendum, which will be with the deal, and with giving the option on the ballot paper for Remain, if people still decide to leave Europe, we will all respect that and will work on that. It's also one point I want to add into this, that second referendum with the deal will be very clear directions that what are the benefits and the disadvantages of leaving or staying in the Europe, so that people are fully informed before they cast their vote. Last time when the referendum took place, people were not aware what are the benefits and the disadvantages of leaving Europe. This time there will be informed discussions, informed deal, people will be involved in it, then they will have the opportunity to cast their vote one way or the other.
As you said, Brexit will be obviously it will either make or break this election. You have been campaigning as a parliamentarian for this is the record 5th time. You have been knocking the doors of local voters. So, what are their concerns at the moment? Are the issues they have been talking to you the same over the last few years? Their concerns have changed?
No, I think that overall, my experience is when you go to the people, the issues are generally the same. People are concerned about the economy, people are concerned about the education of their children, people are concerned about the employment, people are concerned about the climate change, people are concerned about the other standard issues. And these are the issues every time, because people then start comparing it, that 5 years ago the homeless was less, now homeless is increased, children's fee is increased, it was free before. So it is the continuation of the same issues. This time extra issue is Brexit. Otherwise it is internationally how you're going to deal with the issues. Again, depends on the voters' personal interest as well. So I'm not saying that this election is hugely different from the previous elections. Addition to Brexit, rest is the same.
You said that obviously their concerns remain more or less same. Now, regarding Nepal-UK relations, over the last 200 years or so, our Prime Minister was recently visiting UK, but no British Prime Minister has visited Nepal during this period. So, when the new government is formed, as an MP, will you still try to take the British Prime Minister to Nepal?
I did welcome the Prime Minister to the House of Commons. I was the host to welcome him and have the reception when the Prime Minister of Nepal came. I have raised this question in the Parliament. I did ask David Cameron to visit Nepal. When he went to Delhi, I proposed at that time that while you are in Delhi, why don't you take half a day to visit Nepal? I have raised this question many times to every Prime Minister. I'm more confident that once we have the next Labour government, I will put back to the Prime Minister, which will be Jeremy Corbyn. I will ask him to visit Nepal, because it will be a historical visit. As you said that no previous Prime Ministers have attended or visited Nepal. So I feel that this is the right time after 200 years to visit Nepal and strengthening the relationships between those two very old friends together.
We are coming to the end of this live interview. We know you are going out for campaigning and the time is quite precious. So you have served the local community here, first as a councillor, then as the mayor, and 4 times as the parliamentarian. So do you have any retirement plans soon, if any?
I think that one day I will retire. I feel that I still have quite a lot to contribute. My health allows me. My political party nationally have put full confidence in me, in my abilities. Now, the recent report coming out from Social Change that I'm the one of the top 10 most accessible, able MPs.
So the 650 MPs.
Out of 650, I'm on top one of the top 10 MPs. I'm not saying the others are not doing their good job. Even the young MPs are quite behind on their contributions on that point. So it's not party political, it's not Labour or Conservative, it's just their surveys done, their researchers going around in the constituencies, talking to people, taking the information, collecting it, then producing this report. Give me the confidence that the people are happy with me. I am doing reasonable job to give the service to my constituents in Ealing Southall, and I would like to continue that, and hopefully when that right time comes, I will be deciding, but not in this election. I am fighting for this election, and with the grace of God, with the help of my voters, I will continue for the next 5 years.
Thank you very much for your time, sir.
Thank you for
Thank
your
you.
coming here. Thank you. Dhanyavad. Thank you.
दर्शकबिन यति बेला लन्डन नेपाल न्युजमा हामी प्रत्यक्ष प्रसारणमा रहेका थियौँ। म क्यामेरामा शिव भण्डारी र हामीलाई प्रविधिमा साथ दिने तस्बिर अधिकारी हुनुहुन्छ अस्ट्रेलियाबाट भने जेनी भट्टराई हुनुहुन्छ। यति बेला हामीसँग पत्रकार भागीरथ योगीजीले एमपी वीरेन्द्र शर्माजीसँग लिएको यो विशेष अन्तर्वार्ता आजको लागि यति नै। थ्याङ्क यू सो मच फर युर टाइम। थ्याङ्क यू सो मच फर वाचिङ लन्डन नेपाल न्युज। थ्याङ्क यू।
Thank you, sir.
Live program, recorded program, news and reports, talk show, events.
LondonNepalNews.com